Golly gee darn it all. I really don't get this government stuff, Mr. Teacher Face.
Well, it isn't that tough once you get the basics. Understanding government is probably easier than putting those sensible sunglasses on your head.
Really? Are you sure? All those levels are like super duper confusing. How many are there? Like 6 or whatevers?
Well, there's only 3 levels of government actually. Our government has a federal or national level that looks after things like national defense and our money that affect the whole country. Then there is the provincial government that looks after important things like education and healthcare, and finally, there's municipal government that takes care of more local things like waste collection and snow plowing. I love snow plows so much. You know, I've often thought about quitting teaching and buying my own snow plow.
Well, Mr. Teacher Face, I think you should stick to teaching. I've seen you drive before and it's not pretty. So, like, who exactly are these different governments? Like, who is in them? Isn't it just a bunch of old people?
Okay, stay with me here. Our federal government is 2 parts, the House of Commons and the Senate.
The House of Commons and the Senate. Okay, I get that. But like, what's the difference between them?
Well, the House of Commons is made up of elected representatives. They usually do all the work in government, like making new laws. The Senate is made up of ex-parent politicians that aren't elected. The Senate pretty much checks on the work of the House of Commons and advises them.
So the Senate isn't elected and they don't really make laws?
Yep. That's why we should be glad that here in Ontario, we don't have one. We only have our version of the House of Commons, which is called the Legislative Assembly.
Okay, that's not too hard then. In Ottawa, it's the House of Commons, and in Ontario, it's the Legislative Assembly.
That's totally correct. But do you know who is the head of state of Canada?
Well, like, I could guess. Is it Stephen Harper?
Well, you might think so, but why you're actually wrong. Our head of state is actually the Queen of England, Elizabeth II.
The Queen. Really, Mr. Teacher Face?
Yep, the Queen. But she obviously doesn't live in Canada, so we've created a position that represents her. In Ottawa, the Queen is represented by the Governor-General, and in Toronto, the Queen is represented by the Lieutenant Governor.
Okay, but who is Stephen Harper then? Though he was in charge.
In a way, he is more in charge. Stephen Harper is our Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is the leader of the political party that has the most seats in the House of Commons. He is an elected representative just like any other member of the House of Commons. All of the work of government happens without much input from the Governor-General.
Okay, so if that's what happens in Ottawa, what about our provincial government in Toronto? Other than the Lieutenant Governor, who's in charge?
That would be the Premier. It's the same idea. Right now it's Dalton McGuinty, who is the leader of the Liberal Party, and they have the most seats in the Legislative Assembly.
That was easy. I think you get it all now. Sweet broccoli on a bun. Thanks, Mr. Teacher Face. I should get back to perfectly positioning these sensible sunglasses on my head.
Good luck with that. Thanks for listening to me exercise my extensive knowledge.